Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about how to have healthy hair, or here is a hair routine for you guys to have healthy hair. 1, wash your hair properly. Now, I know what you're gonna say about this. What the heck do you mean? Of course I wash my hair properly. Do you though? Because I have heard people say to use your fingertips, but I can't get in there unless I have my nails on, and I don't have my nails on. I'm so sorry. But instead of that, I'd say invest in a scalp massager. I do not need to explain how much a scalp massager has really helped me, because my shampoo can lather really well, but I feel like with the scalp massager, chef's kiss combo. You really just lather in there, really just get into there, and it honestly feels so good as well because it's a scalp massager. It literally just massages my scalp. Now, one thing that I am going to talk about washing your hair is you do not want to wash it every day. I just don't think that it is necessary to wash your hair every day, because the water, the blow drying, the shampoo, it can dry your hair out and it can actually cause breakage. Yeah, I know. It kind of sounds bad. I wash my hair 1 to 2 times a week. Yeah, 1 to 2 times a week. I don't think, if you have a really oily scalp, I do recommend 2 to 3 times a week. But I think for a normal person, it's 1 to 2 times a week. You do not need to wash your hair every single day, because that can actually cause breakage. 2, always use conditioner. I feel like when you don't use conditioner, you're actually missing out on a lot, because like you could skim conditioner for one day and you're like, why doesn't my hair feel like it's so stingy and it's rough? Because conditioner is actually meant to help to soften the mid and end lengths of your hair, and it's actually supposed to kind of like bond your follicles together, and it's also going to make sure that whatever split ends you have, there is not going to be breakage. Conditioner is basically supposed to kind of be like a coat to make sure that there's no breakage in your hair and that there is nothing like it, so that it doesn't feel rough. After conditioner, you know that feeling of your hair feeling super duper soft. That is the feeling. Leave conditioner on for 2 to 5 minutes. I don't think if you just rinse it right off, the conditioner does not have time to really marinate with your hair in the water. So I'd say leave it for 2 to 5 minutes. Also, do not forget to go like this. Like, I'm sorry you guys, but if you're just putting it on soaking wet water, it's not going to marinate well, because it's just going to come right off. Do a deep hair treatment. Yeah. Honestly, I do a hair mask once a week, because also my hair is a bit damaged itself, even though I don't use as much as I think I do. You need to do a deep hair treatment. It's like another coat after the conditioner, another coat of protection. So what a hair mask is supposed to do is basically the same thing as a conditioner, but it's also supposed to keep it lasting a lot longer and feeling a lot softer. Now, honestly, one thing that I do love is that, like, after the hair mask, my hair feels so soft and silky. If you guys want to know what hair mask I use the Swarovski hair mask, which should be like an Asian-owned brand. And honestly, it feels really good. If you do use a hair mask before the shower, then I recommend leaving it on for like, I'd say 30 minutes before your shower. But if you do use it in the shower, I'd say maybe like 5 to 10 minutes is a good amount of time for your hair mask to really marinate. Like I said again, do not put hair mask or conditioner on in soaking wet hair. 4, oil your hair. You're going to have to oil your hair whether then or now, because oiling your hair is actually going to cause it to have more hair growth. Now, I do recommend using like an oil that suits your hair type. I use rosemary and castor oil. Now, castor oil is not that very good for me because it can be really heavy, and some people don't like that feeling. So I'd say if you do not like that feeling of like the night before, then I'd say put it on 30 minutes before your shower with your hair mask or whatever else. There are all different types of oil for your hair. There's coconut oil, argan oil, tea tree oil, there is rosemary oil, and castor oil for your hair. So that's like the big 5. And I think oiling your hair, you can't just put it in don't just put it in. You have to massage it, and that's what the scalp massager is really for, but I like to use it for my shampoo. But if you don't mind using your hand and really just like getting in there, you know, making sure that all the oil is like marinated into your hair, go ahead and do it, because you're going to need to do it. The oil and you massaging it helps the blood flow, and it increases the growth of your hair. 5, protect from heat. I cannot stress enough about heat protectant. You need to protect your hair. I like to use the L'Oreal one, and it works really good. If you do heat, well, I'm surprised because these ones actually came out good, and I didn't use heat. These were heatless. If you do use heat, please wear heat protectant. Now, I didn't know this, but you also have to put heat protectant when your hair is wet, when you're out of the shower, when you're about to blow dry it. You're gonna ask, why is that, Olivia? Well, that's because you're still using heat when you blow dry it. And sometimes your blow dryer can actually cause your hair to be more damaged than you think it is. Now, I'm not saying you have to air dry it every day, because that's not the best either, but you can use heat protectant on your hair when it's wet, when you're blow drying it, because your blow dryer is still putting heat on here, and that is going to cause damage. It's going to cause breakage. And in general, you're going to regret it when you skip putting heat protectant when you use any kind of heat. 6, be gentle when brushing. When you are brushing your hair, I don't know about you guys, I have curls right now, so like I don't really like get in there because I'm not dealing with the big afro. But you are supposed to brush down and then go up, because that is supposed to be the correct way, and I didn't even know that either. So like, if you didn't know it, that's fine, me too. The reason why we're supposed to do this is because when we just brush like this, we get all the tangles. But if we go like this, we can actually eliminate the tangles and then actually brush through smoothly. Also, another little tip is, please do not brush your hair while it is wet, because while it is wet, it's like soaking wet, and that's when your hair is like straight up very fragile. So that's when you don't want to brush through your hair, because you can actually rip out some strands and cause breakage. Now, if you do have to brush it, like if it's mandatory that your hair is really messy, I recommend using like a wide tooth comb, because those ones are so much easier to go through, or some kind of wet brush. 7, trim your hair. Yes, I know, I hate it too. I literally wish for hair growth, yet I have to trim it. You need to trim your hair because there are split ends. Your hair is not going to grow if you have split ends. Now, I'd say maybe trim from every 6 to 8 weeks, because that's when like your hair grows and everything. But I wouldn't recommend like trimming it, like waiting like forever to trim it. You're going to have to eventually trim your ends, because if you're like me, you do have split ends. We all have them sometimes, and it's completely normal. But trimming them will just give them like a new start, and they're gonna grow back. Your hair is going to grow back. 8, have a little night routine for your hair. Your hair is not fragile during the night unless like you wash it. Do not sleep while your hair is wet. If you air dry your hair, make sure that when you go to sleep that your hair is completely dry. Same with if you use a heatless curler like soft curls, or if you use a heatless rod like me, make sure that your hair is completely dry, or else those are going to come out really bad and your hair is going to break. If you are someone who does not do any of those things and you just go to sleep and your hair is dry, do not forget to wear a silk or satin bonnet, or have a silk and satin pillowcase for your hair. Now, I'm going to explain why. Cotton, and when you're moving around, it causes friction, and that can actually make your hair break. Yeah, I know. Most of this video, all I'm talking about is breakage. But a lot of things can cause your hair to break. And the cotton and the friction between your hair, they can cause that too. So wearing like a silk and satin bonnet can actually reduce that, and it can actually make it nice and soft and luscious in the morning. So yeah. Well, that's it for today, guys. Bye, like, and subscribe.